These people here today are learning about the Civil War veterans buried in this cemetery. Could you tell us something about them?
Absolutely. I'd be very happy to tell you my story. Unfortunately, it's not a very happy one. I was born Rhoda Battershell in 1845. My family were some of the first settlers to Haynesville. I had 6 brothers and sisters, and we took up residence on Old Plank Road, which I believe today you call Belvedere. My future husband, Esau Rich, his family also hailed from New York. They moved to the Grays Lake area, let's see, it must have been 1836, and Esau was born in 1840. He actually had 9 brothers and sisters, and they took up residence along what is today Allegheny Road. We were married on September 3rd, 1861, and that was truly the happiest time in my life. Unfortunately, that happiness was short-lived, because in August of 1862, my Esau enlisted with the 96th Illinois Infantry, and he mustered up with Company B at Camp Fuller in Rockford on September 5th with 32 other men from Avon Township. They engaged in several battles, the first of which was in defense of Cincinnati. They also fought in Tennessee quite a bit, as well as Chickamauga, Georgia. Unfortunately, on November 24th, 1863, my Esau was killed at the Battle of Lookout Mountain in Tennessee. My father-in-law received this letter from his captain. Lookout Mountain, November 25th. Friend Rich, it is my painful duty to inform you that in the battle yesterday, your son Esau was killed. Yes, Esau is dead. General Whitaker volunteered to help take this mountain, and we were charging up and around it. Companies A and B forwarded as skirmishes raged on. Esau, being much fatigued, halted a moment to rest. And just as he was advancing again, doing his duty nobly, he was shot through the head and died instantly and without struggle. This morning we were expecting to renew the fight, and we were held in line of battle ready to advance. But I got permission of the colonel to let 3 of the boys go and do the last honor to their fellow soldier. They buried him by a large rock near where he fell, so the place can be easily identified. He had recently drawn some new clothes, which he was wearing. In addition, he had a tent wrapped around him when he was buried. His effects are a likeness of his wife and child, a jackknife, and a pocketbook containing $2.20 in cash, all of which I will send to you at my earliest convenience. I do not know his wife's address, so will you please inform her as soon as you can. Most respectfully yours, E.J. Gilmore. Sadly, Captain Gilmore was killed in June of 1864 at Kennesaw Mountain in Georgia, and he is remembered at the Avon Center Cemetery. Jenny Rich is buried at this spot. Some believe this is where Esau is buried and that Jenny is my daughter. Family records are in conflict. Nobody really knows for sure if this is accurate, and unfortunately nobody knows when I died or where I'm buried. My brother George actually played a role in the development of the town of Grays Lake, and hopefully someday we'll be able to tell his story as well. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for sharing that sad story, Rhoda. Let me tell you a little bit about E.J. Gilmore, the author of that letter. Evangelist, that was his real name, was born in New York. He came to Avon Township to be a farmer and a teacher. When Company B of the 96th Illinois Volunteer Infantry was organized in January of 1863, he was appointed first sergeant. Within a month, he was promoted to second lieutenant, and after a year, promoted to captain. He was mortally wounded at the Battle of Kennesaw Mountain, as Rhoda mentioned, attempting to retake the breastworks from which the 35th Indiana had been driven. He was shot 3 times and died 3 days later. His body was returned to Avon Township, and he is buried at Avon Township Cemetery. He was 26 years old. We have one more speaker today, so if you turn around and join me in the back.